afternoon and many thanks for joining us here on KTN News Desk. My name is Akisa Wandera. Sign language interpreter is Meresha Owiti. President Uhuru Kenyatta says adequate security personnel have been deployed in various parts of the country to deal with increased cases of insecurity. Addressing the media at Sagana State Lodge, State House spokesperson Manoa Esipisu said the government had set aside over 215 million shillings for pastoralists as insurance to mitigate them from current drought.
Let me speak to the President's diary. I started by saying that he will be here tomorrow to attend the funeral of the governor. After that, the President will head to Nakuru County to preside over the annual devolution conference. This is always an opportunity to take stock and review progress thus far in implementing devolution. Of course, this administration is totally committed to the devolution project and has shown in terms of how it has supported devolution, devolving functions well ahead of schedule, and providing funds in terms set out by the Constitution, or even beyond the Constitution. Discussions will be around the strides that have been made since 2013, when devolution was implemented, and devolution is indeed working in this country. For those who doubt, just check the amount of money counties are receiving and look at some of the transformative things that some counties have been able to do as a result of devolution. Here in Nyeri, for instance, 13 billion shillings has been received since 2013 from the national government as part of the devolution project. Constitutionally, the county governments are to receive at least 15% of the total national budget, and currently that amount is at 42% as allocated to the counties. After the devolution conference later this week, the President will visit Turkana, Lamu, Kilifi, Mombasa, and Taita Taveta counties to commission completed projects and inspect ongoing ones. These include the Witu-Lamu Road, Baricho Water Project, Salagate Road, commission equipment at Malindi Hospital, launch the Mariakani Bamba Road, inspect the Moi Airport, Changamwe Road, launch the Bura Mission Road, and lay the foundation stone of the National Mining Institute at the Taita Taveta University, which is located in Voi. The President will also commission a gemstone cutting and value addition center, as well as address a number of rallies while he is at the coast. These activities will build the President's State of the Nation address to a joint sitting of Parliament on March 15. The State of the Nation is an opportunity to review implementation of the President's development agenda for the year, and also to give an outlook of what he expects going forward. I believe he'll use the opportunity to review what his administration has delivered over the last 4 years, and also look at some of the work that remains. Let me talk on to two other issues that remain of significance at this point. This week, the President will launch payouts under the Kenya Livestock Insurance Program, which helps vulnerable pastoralists to purchase fodder and animal feed supplements to keep their co-breeding herd alive until the drought has passed. Some 215 million shillings in payouts will be made available to 12,604 registered pastoralist households located in the Asal counties of Mandera, Marsabit, Isiolo, Tana River, Turkana, and Wajir.
Now, a majority of Kenyans have little to look forward to in the coming general election, according to research findings released by the Jesuit Hakima Center earlier today. According to the findings, corruption still remains a major issue, with 88.3% of Kenyans indicating that there is no connection between elections and issues, an indication that the achievement of the Vision 2030 goals is far from over. The research that was conducted in 24 counties between the month of November and December last year was in line with goals defined in the Vision 2030.
There is increased tax collection, for example. Do people agree with this? See, most of them say no. Okay, what is that? A kind of resignation to fate. Fate will take over. You see, this is our projection. This is our understanding that corruption is so entrenched that really there's nothing much we can do, almost. Of course, there are a few people who are very committed. And here are some of the reasons why people think that corruption will not end. So you can see people say the government doesn't have systems in place, there's political interference, but there are also those who think that somehow this can be fought. But most people, as you can see, think that corruption is not going to end anytime soon. And that's a very important question for these elections, as we will see in a moment.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has refuted claims that his own foundation was engaged in a fraudulent scheme. He dismissed the reports as a ploy by Jubilee to taint his name. Kalonzo Musyoka Foundation was reportedly operating secret offshore bank accounts.
Huyu ameelimishwa na Kalonzo Musyoka Foundation kabisa, ambayo watu wa Jubilee wananiandikia barua, wanaweka jina ya mke wangu pale na mtoto wangu na kusema sijui tuko na foreign account na mambo kama haya. Kazo wanajua lazima waharibie Kalonzo jina. Na hiyo foundation imesaidia watoto kutoka jamii maskini zaidi ya 2,000. Wengine wameenda through university, wengine wako middle colleges na wanasaidia kujenga nchi yao. Mimi sina foreign account yoyote. Nawezaji mimi nikaibisha familia yangu mahali mama, bibi yangu yuko na mtoto yuko, awe ni mahali pa kuweka uchafu.
In the wake of the World Wildlife Day celebrated on the 3rd of March this year, the issue of human-wildlife conflict continues to persist in Nakuru County. A family in Olojurai, Gilgil sub-county, is still seeking compensation after one of their own succumbed after being attacked by a buffalo. Victor Ogale with more on the story.
Ndio, kwa sababu hapa sio mahali ya kuchezea saa hii, si ndio? Nyorosha nyinyi saa hii.
Kile kitu haikufanya huko Subukia, haikufanya Solai, isikuja kufanya wapi? Kwa sababu sasa kama itafanya hiyo kitendo, mtabaki kulia. Na ndio atafanya nini? Ataenda. Sawa sawa? Na pia kama mko hapa na nia ya kusema mtakula nyama, hakuna nyama.
Kuna mila ya Kikalenjin ya kwamba kuna ukoo fulani, yani generation ikipita fulani wengine waangalie. Kuna watoto hapa ambaye wamezaliwa juzi wajae kuangalia ndovu. Kwa hivyo ni baraka kwa watoto wetu ambaye wadogo wachionoe wachionee.
All right, let's now speak to our reporter in Nakuru County, Victor Ogale, on that particular story. Victor, thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon. This is not the first case we've had of an individual being attacked by wildlife. What is the current status of that particular case?
Were just played were in such a one where residents of that particular area were in pursuit of 3 elephants that were seen the previous night. And when they came, they reported to the KWS officers, who came and tried to cool down the crowd as they tried to pursue the elephants. And the issue in general of human-wildlife conflict here in Nakuru County is one that has been ongoing for a long time. And according to KWS, this is greatly attributed to the fact that there is a high influx of people, or rather human population, that is living either in the parts where the wild animals used to migrate, or there is a high population of people living near wildlife conservancies, game parks, or other national parks. The case of that story of Old Jurai, where a 57-year-old man was attacked by a buffalo. The man was grazing his cattle, and the buffalo appeared and he attacked him. They tried rushing him to Old Jurai Health Center, which is nearby in Gilgil Sub-County. He was then referred to the Rift Valley Provincial General Hospital here in Nakuru County. But he succumbed to injuries, and he later died, and he was buried. And thereafter, the family tried following up the matter, seeking compensation, and it has been at all order for them. That is not the only case that we are looking at here. There are so many case studies in various parts of this. If you go to Narok County, you go to Nyandarua, or Laikipia County, though Ole Nguruone leads in cases of compensation where either destruction of property has occurred, injurious cases where a person has been injured or even left dead. Akisa?
So what exactly is being done to mitigate this human and wildlife conflict? We just celebrated World Wildlife Day the other day on Friday. Are there ways that are being used to address this issue even down at the county level?
Well, the KWS, working with the county governments, various county governments of the affected areas. Remember, this is not the only issue here in Nakuru County. They're trying to work with communities and perhaps raise awareness. And there are also people who are taking advantage of the situation. There are people who want to engage in the sale of bush meat. There are people who attack the buffaloes, attack zebras, and at the end of the day sell them as meat. And people will go and buy meat thinking they buy beef, thinking that they're buying mutton, but at the end of the day, that is bush meat that has been slaughtered. KWS and the relevant authorities, together with the environmentalists and the various county officials, let me give an example of Nakuru, have been having a campaign with communities that are staying. Give an example of the Lake Nakuru National Park that is here, where we have the rhino sanctuary. And remember, there was a time where here in Nakuru where we had the cases of rhino poaching on the rise, but now the issue has subsided. So perhaps issues such as those, talking to the people, also encourage educating them and telling them the benefits of wildlife to this country and also to this county. Those are the issues that perhaps, because even I'll give you an example of such an one. Previously, when people see a wild animal, they would attack it. But nowadays, when they see wild animals, they call KWS officers who come and try to quell the matter. They try to intervene, rather take the animal, since that is what they do. They are trained to do that, deal with wild animals and take it where they belong.
Victor, thank you very much for that update. Our reporter, Victor Ogale, there, joining us live from Nakuru County. And on that note, we'll take a short commercial break. Don't go too far. We still have a lot lined up for you here on KTN News Desk. We wrap it up for our KTN Home viewers. Many thanks for joining us. But we continue with the second bit of this bulletin on KTN News. Don't go too far. Our sign language interpreter has been Maresha Witi, and I am Akisa Wandera. Good afternoon.